Good morning, Bills Mafia. I got a little break today. Just got done with 2 jobs, and I got time before I pick up my son from school. And I didn't get to come out and do anything last night, so we're doing a post-game reaction today. Matt Chatter, I think he's still here. What a mess, yeah. What are the headlines? Well, that's going to be the fun thing. Well, depending on if people come in, but I'm going to give a few minutes, and you guys tell me things you want to talk about. You tell me what you want me to answer. You tell me any questions you have, anybody you want to talk about, any issues you see, and I'll write them down. I'll give you like 3 or 4 minutes, maybe. If more people come in, we'll see. And I'll write some of these topics down. And if nobody says any topics, then I'll just talk. But I'll give a couple minutes for people to come in. And if you got any ideas, you want to talk about anything specific, McDermott? Okay, that's one thing. But yeah, very sloppy game, man. It was it was a game we shouldn't have won. Definitely a game we shouldn't have won. He needs to tighten up, absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Yeah, that game was super ugly, but it was embarrassing as an understatement, to say the least, about last night. So not going to be fun to talk about, but there is some good things. Yeah, let's give a couple more. If it's just going to be you, Matt Chatter, then I'll just dive into stuff. But if you got more you want to talk about than McDermott, you let me know. Josh is getting very sloppy and just throwing the digs, a street ball, undisclosed garbage. Yeah. We'll get into that too. Like I said, I don't mind force feeding the ball to your best player, but there comes a point where someone else has to do something. I got you. Yeah, let me know. This is a show for the fans, by the fans. So if you guys have topics, so I've seen a couple channels do this where they give the audience, free reign to pick topics, and then the person talks about them. So give you guys a second. Maybe more people will roll in a couple minutes. I'm actually gonna go get a drink while I'm waiting. So if if you got anything else, Matt Chatter, put it in. And if people come in while I'm not here, let them know. Start putting topics into the comment section, and then we'll talk about it. Give me 1 minute. Hey. Thinking of playoffs, we need to be ready if Dick shut down. Oh yeah, I've been mentioning that. Yeah, like I said, I'll give him a couple minutes, Matt Chatter, and then I'll start talking about McDermott. And then if more people come in, I'll wait and list more topics. But you let me know if there's more you want to talk about, my friend. There's a lot to get into too, and man, sometimes I'm speechless. Sometimes I'm speechless. They got to be ashamed. Definitely. Problem is, Bills fans avoiding this too soon. Don't want to get back into the slop. Yeah. Yep. They don't want to. A lot of people don't want to get into the real reasons for things, and they want to protect certain players. Which, hey, I get it. I love the players too, but you got to remember we're Bills fans above everything else. Just like when Evan Neal of the Giants, you heard my buddy New York Giants talk. He said after he was disrespecting the fans, Saquon Barkley says, "Hey, these fans have been here before you, and they're going to be here after you're done playing." So, whatever. It's the same thing for players. I love Josh. I love everybody on the team. Love McDermott, but Are we Bills fans or are we fans just of the players? That's what I'm trying to say. I love Josh Allen, but last two games are garbage. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there were some good things sprinkled in, but it all starts at the top, man. I mean, it's just basic leadership, basic if you're the best player, man, you're the quarterback. That's why you get paid all that money. So well, I love McDermott, but he's losing control. Yeah. Well, that's just you so far. Then we'll start talking about the topic that you want to talk about, and that's Sean McDermott. So obviously, the defense has been, you know, firing on mostly all cylinders since he's took over. I don't know if we still lead in sacks after this week, but even with missing Daquan Jones and Vaughn being on a limited snap count, we were getting pressure. And for the most part, we did stop the run up until, I mean, I think he had a 20 something yard carry and a 30-yard carry the second to last drive of the game, and he had 90 yards. So he had 50 yards and two carries, and he had like 20 something rushes. So we did a good job. It is Saquon Barkley. One thing I think that same drive, they ran the same play 8 times in a row, and we kept getting beat. The defensive line kept getting beat, and this was a makeshift offensive line full of bums that I could get past. And even in my high school days when I was playing, I could get past. And McDermott, he's been that coach where sometimes when the moments get big and bright, it seems like he gets too much. He crumbles a little bit under pressure, and we got lucky this game. That was a PI on Johnson. I don't think it was a PI before that, the play before that. So I will say that evens out. But we were very close to losing that game, and we shouldn't have been. That's on coaching as well. Big on coaching. We never seem to be prepared for bad teams. We always play down. Sometimes we play up. Sometimes we don't play up. Like the Dolphins game, we played up. We played down in the Jets game. We played down in the Jags game and down in the Giants game. Now the Jags are a decent team, but we played down against the bad teams like the Giants. We shouldn't. McDermott's got to be able to bring out the best in his leaders. I know he's a great guy, great coach, and I love him, but you got to get up at these leaders' ass and say, hey, man, we rely on you guys to get everybody juiced up, and you got to get people in the right positions. You got to get people motivated to play. That's a big part of a coach. Let's see. We need a number 2. We got a tight end. Gabe is a 3. Sorry. Yeah, maybe. Cook's better. What stood out to me is the greatest fear: losing our D tackle Daquan Jones, PFF top show like in the Bengals game. Was Puna not out there? I guess the D was fine. Puna was out there a little bit. I thought he should have played more. And again, they did. Let me just double check the stats. I think they ran the ball over 30 times. Because yeah, we got 3 sacks, but it's not all about sacks. We did pressure them a lot, and Tyrod's just a veteran and knows how to move around the pocket. So they ran 29, 30. They ran 34 times. So it's hard to get, a lot of pass rush opportunities with that. Tyrod threw 36 times and was 24 for 36, sacked 3 times. And we did that last play of the close to the last play of the game. Ed Oliver had him wrapped up when he did the scramble. So that could have been a sack, and it would have won the game actually too. But we just couldn't wrap him up. So we were getting pressure still, but obviously you can see a difference without Daquan Jones, of course. But yeah, Saquon was 24 for 93, and 2 of his carries, one of them the long of 34, and the other one was like 30 as well. So he basically had 20 carries for 30 yards, besides those 2 big ones. And that was in the second to last drive of the game. So D line did pretty good. Watch the film, of course, and see it a better angle. But for the most part, I thought we controlled the line of scrimmage, offense and defense. But yeah, I would like to see a little bit more put forward. Bills fan I spoke to feel cheated on the win. Giants had us beat. Wide pass. Well, the thing about that is when you get the ball back and the other team has 3 timeouts, it is completely obvious that they're going to run the football. And all we did was run up the middle twice, got no yards, and we had a pass. We had a pass in that situation. how huge is Milano, our main linebacker? Not sure the extent yet because luckily D Williams plays hard. Yeah, we're not going to notice it that this next week or two against shitty teams, but when we play good teams, we're gonna feel it real bad. But that passing play, it was a great play design because it was they're probably going to run the ball again. Obviously they're going to run the ball again. He rolled out. Dawson Knox was wide open, and yeah, he had both hands on the football, but that freaking ball was in the dirt. It was a horrible pass. If you get paid $300 million and the game is on the line, and all you had to do was throw an accurate pass to a wide open receiver to win the game, and you threw it in the dirt. Yeah, sure, you pay Knox a lot of money, but you pay Josh even more. So that play, 90% of that's on Josh because the game was over. Throw the football, even run the football. You could have got a few yards and then slid, and then the time goes. They have to waste another timeout, and then they have no timeouts on that drive instead of one, which could have loomed detrimental to our our game, but luckily it didn't. But that's on Josh Allen. That's not Dorsey's fault, is it? Is it Ken Dorsey's fault that he drew up an extremely creative, good play, and then your $300 million quarterback couldn't throw it to a wide open tight end who also gets paid a lot of money? No, it's not his fault. It's just as much my fault as it is his fault, and it's not my fault whatsoever. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. It really does. Wrong play, my bad. But yeah, both clowns. I make that. You make that pass. Yeah, I make that. You make that pass. Dawson drops. Do whatever. Yeah, first of all, he has problems catching the football regardless. And then not only do you give him a horrible pass, you expect him to make that play. Like, where have you been the last couple years with him? Drops so overpaid. Yeah, man. I mean, it's not good. It's really not good at all. All right, Matt Chatter, talk to me. Give me another topic that you want to talk about because it's just you and me right now, buddy. And I got a lot to say, but I want this to be a fan show and me responding to what you guys got to say. I got a couple hours. I got to be out of here by 1:30, so I can stay on here for 2 hours if people want. So give you guys the opportunity. We'll probably try to get it this week. Keith was sick the other day, the last 2 weeks ago, and we were planning on doing it, and then this week was tough, but I hope to get it this week. Oh, man, the sun's bright now. I want to get natural light in here, but now the sun's too bright. Jeez. But yeah, we'll try to get the next debate out this week. Keith will be defending his belt again. That'll be fun. I'm here to listen. Let it rip. I went right to bed. Oh yeah, I could let it rip. I just, I really wanted to try this out today with a bunch. I thought at least a couple people would be in here to give ideas I can bounce off of. But yeah, whether we win or lose, it's hard for me to go right to bed at night, after a game like that because my anxiety and my, blood pressure is through the roof after the game, win or lose. So, I have to sit in the couch for a little bit, and it was it was definitely a weird night. Well, I guess let me get into some stats. Hopefully, people come in. But Josh was 19 for 30, so 63%. He started off at like 30%, and he was looking bad. And he had 1 yard in the second quarter and 1 interception. Yeah, it was a great defensive play. It wasn't like he threw a horrible pick. It was just a good defensive play. He was 2 touchdowns, 2 great touchdowns, 1 interception for an 86.7 rating. James Cook, 14 for 71. Murray, 12 for 45. Allen, 2 for 11. And Harris, 1 for 1. And hopefully I should have let off with it. But, prayers up to Harris. He, put his body on the line for that 1 yard to get us a first down when we needed it desperately. And, luckily he's able to move his body. We don't know. I'm assuming they said neck injury. So I'm assuming it was could be a collarbone maybe. from where he got hit. He could have broke his collarbone. Uh, could be anything. I'm just guessing. I'm not a doctor, of course, as people like to tell me, because they think Matt Milano and Daquan Jones are coming back in 5 weeks. So uh, I'm not a doctor, so I will fully disclose that to everybody listening when they come in. But I haven't heard anything about Harris yet, besides the fact that he was moving his arms and legs last night. So that's good. But we ran the ball. We ran the ball, what's that, 29 times? And we threw the ball 30 times. So we were 50-50. And if a team like the Buffalo Bills was a 50-50 team, uh, but it's not our brand of football. That's not our brand of football. We should be 65-35 pass. And when we're not, it's because something's wrong. Diggs, 10 for 100. So 10 of Josh's 19 completions and 100 of his 169 yards were to Stephon Diggs. Gabe Davis, 3 for 21 with a freaking fumble. Knox, 3 for 17 with a long of 10 with another big drop. Quentin Morris, 1 for 15 with that touchdown, which was absolutely phenomenal. Shakir, 1 for 13, and Hardy, 1 for 3 with a touchdown. And that was a beautiful play design. Use your best player as a decoy. You have all the attention over to him, and then you get Leak Hardy out, and he's wide open. So I love that. Good part about 17 weeks is each game doesn't matter as much. Most go to wild card, so sleep well. Yeah, it's just the way. Like, think about it, man. You got like 6 teams that are 3-2. We're 4-2. You got the Dolphins 5-1, the Chiefs 5-1. You got some teams that are 2-2, 2-3, like the Chargers, who might win tonight, they might not, and then they're back into the thick of things. We still got to play them. The Jags are 4-2. People think the AFC is taking a step back because they weren't expecting that. They're expecting them to be super good, but that's the problem. They are super good. That's why there's so many AFC teams. I think there's the worst AFC team is 500. I think. I really think so. Let me check that. I really think every AFC team is 5. Oh yeah, maybe AFC team is 500. Let me just double check. I'm interested to know. Let's see. Sorry, give me 1 sec. I gotta go on the internet here, and then I'll pull up your comments in a sec, Matt Chatter. Okay, so Patriots are 1-5, right? Patriots, Broncos, and Titans are the only teams that are not 500 or better. You got Dolphins 5-1, Bills 4-2, Jets 3-3, Chiefs 5-1, Chargers 2-2, Raiders 3-3, Ravens 4-2, Steelers 3-2, Browns 3-2, Bengals 3-3, Jags 4-2, Colts 3-3, Texans 3-3, and Titans 2-4. So that's 3 teams out of 16 that are not 500 or better. That's insane. There's like no wiggle room. That's like no wiggle room. Now let's look at the NFC. Yeah, the Giants and the Cardinals 1-5, Vikings 2-3, 2-4, Bears 1-4, Packers 2-3, Panthers 0-6. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams that are not 500 or better in the NFC. So finally pull up your comments again. Do. Hit you, you're not doctor stuff. You have common sense and can read Google and online MD like anyone else. Yeah, exactly. I mean, common sense is part of it too, but people don't like to use that. Well, I remember there was a play on 22 I want to catch. It was like Knox lined up in front of the RB on left. The way it developed was cool. Yeah, it'll probably be out tonight, so we'll see if I can get a film study in tomorrow or the next day. AFC so much better. Eagles 49ers learned the hard way. Yep. Very surprised at the lack of trade movement. Terrible easier to swallow with picks. Yeah, that was the only, I hate those like the arm punt ones people always talk about, but that one was just a great defensive play, and there's not much you can do about that. It would have been a great offensive play too if he didn't get his fingertip in there. So, but yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a tough season, man, and that's why I'm saying like, if we lost that game, the season is close to being over because this was the easy part of our schedule. We still got to play the Chiefs in Kansas City, the Cowboys, the Bengals in Cincinnati, the Eagles in Philadelphia, the Dolphins in Miami, the Chargers in LA. That's 6 games, either away or against an elite team or both. Then you got to play the Jets one more time. So this isn't going to be a guaranteed season. That's what I've been trying to preach to people. It's like, yeah, I love the Bills. I'm the biggest Bills fan I could possibly be. I've been a fan for over 20 years since I was a little kid. So it's frustrating for me as it is for everyone else too. Trust me. And just because I'm a little harsh on people doesn't mean I don't love this team just as much. It doesn't mean I don't want to win. That's why I'm like this, because I want to win. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of seeing such a great team just fail time and time again. So, dang. Yeah. Yeah, let's go, Matt. Throw something else at me. This is a show for you because it's for the fans by the fans. So if you're the only fan here, it's your show, buddy. So let's hear some stuff you want to talk about. I don't know how you went right to sleep after that. I couldn't believe it. I got Vikings vibes all over again. Good game from Dorian, Elam and Dorian to get reps. Okay, yeah. So let me talk about them, and I'll throw Benford in there too. So I thought first glance, Dorian Williams played a heck of a lot better than week one, which I expected. I mean, he did play bad week one. I had to call him out for it, but he is young and he is learning. Man, some of these hits that not Elam, Bernard and Williams did on running backs and just receivers in general, that's what I'm talking about. That's a linebacker. I'd never seen Edmonds do stuff like they're doing, and that's crazy. I never seen Edmonds do half of what these guys were doing. The way they hit the holes and just crushed a guy like Saquon, who's a massive and strong human being. Man, I was thoroughly impressed with them. Yeah, obviously Williams still had some rookie mistakes, some rookie, type plays, but he's gonna be fine. He just needs more time, and we gotta give it to him. And the best way to learn is by playing. So I was pleased with his performance this week. I'm sure there'll be mistakes that we see on the film, but definitely a huge difference from week one. Elam and Benford, they both got beat a little bit, but they both made a big play at the end of the game to basically help us win the game. Benford had that nice knockout play, and then Elam had a nice coverage and knocked the ball from Jalen Hyatt. Those two were two big plays. And again, I want to keep reminding people, what do you expect a defense to do? So you want your corners to hold quarterbacks to 0 for 30. You want corners to hold quarterbacks to 5 for 25 on the day. That's just not going to happen. That's really not going to happen. These guys are going to get beat. Every corner gets beat. Pat Surtain, everybody's drooling over, gets smoked multiple times in a game, and he's the best corner in the league. Sauce, Diggs smoked him, best corner in the league. It happens to everybody. Deion Sanders got beat once in a while. Darrelle Revis got beat once in a while. The shit happens. So we can't just keep saying, oh, they stink because they got beat. Everybody gets beat. Trey White was getting smacked around like a little kid before he got injured. Yeah, he made good plays, but you're still getting beat. Like, it's just how it goes. Corner is the hardest position to play besides quarterback, and you could argue quarterback, corner, and offensive line. DB is tough because the receiver knows what he's doing. The DB doesn't know what the receiver's doing, so he has to react. the receiver knows, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do this. And the DB's like, okay, shit. Now I got to make sure I got to watch his hips, I got to watch his hands, I got to watch his feet, I got to do this, I got to do that. Make sure that I don't give inside leverage, don't give outside leverage. Corner's hard. Elam as a whole was okay, assuming he learning. Yeah, I thought so. Good game for Elam. Dorian Williams to get reps. Not drugs, not prescription. So safe as far as I know, over the counter. Tryptophan. Yeah, they seemed like they were getting on that early. I know over the counter, as far as I know, safe. Miracle Williams, that good already. Hard to hit on a position. Yeah, absolutely. Bernard was a home run. I agree. Hyde rescue. Poyer very little again. You were making the true point. Wide receiver is going to win. Yeah, that's the big thing. Yeah, and Poyer, man, him and Hyde got great instincts, but a little bit slow. Hyde's still got. I think Hyde's playing a little bit better than Poyer right now. But I mean, man, did Taylor Rapp even play a little bit yesterday night? I didn't even see him. But I see someone else popped in the channel. So what we're doing today? Oh, now they're gone. But if you come back, everybody watching, we're gonna do. It's a show for the fans, by the fans. You want topics to talk about, you bring them up, and I will talk about them. Right now, we're talking about Elam and Benford and Dorian Williams. So back to them. Very happy with the outcome. They all play a little bit better, especially Williams. And yeah, people can say, "Oh, the Giants receivers are horrible." They're still going to win. They're still like they're still like professional players. Who's a better fighter? Floyd Mayweather or freaking Jake Paul, right? People argue that Jake Paul won the fight, but if it was a real deal kind of shit, Mayweather's a million times better fighter. Things happen. That's how it goes. I was safety, saved us twice. Bernard just bad game. A few deep dimes, no biggie. Yeah, and Bernard had a couple tackle for losses too, which was great. But again, people get beat. It's just part of the game. So got to learn from it. And we did hold them to 9 points. I know they're a crappy team that was decimated by injury. That was the big thing. It's like they weren't full strength. They were full strength when they were the Giants of last year, who was winning games and playing great football. That's different. It'd be a decent win. But like 80% of their team was in a body bag, and they still should have beat us. I'm not a moral victory guy. We didn't deserve to win this game. We should be 3-3, and maybe it was a gifted revenge for letting us play in London against a team that was already in London and took a home game away from us. So made up for that, but we did not deserve it. That's for sure. Lots of Giants had extra get up and go spirit. Yeah, man. Sometimes when you're breaking my desk here, let me just say it this way. My senior year in football, we had 3 guys on our team with varsity experience at that point. I played with 19 kids, and we didn't win a football game my senior year. I got hurt we played 8 games. I got hurt in the 7th game in the first half, and we were winning 21-0. I scored 2 touchdowns already, and then I tore my MCL and bruised my knee, and then we ended up losing 47-21. And but there was some games, man, where basically every game we went into it knowing like let's play like how we know we can play, whether we win or lose. And when we were losing a few games, and we're like, we got to do this. We got to try to get the first win for the seniors, for everybody. Like, we got to do this. And it didn't work out, but there's a different energy when you feel like you're back into a corner. We didn't deserve, but we needed. Absolutely. I'm 6 foot tall. But yeah, man. So I'll throw a topic out just to give you a break, and then hopefully someone comes in. Let me just write a couple down. Yep. All right. I do want to talk about leadership eventually. Let me just talk about the O-line. So I've seen a lot. I have to watch the film again to watch the plays more often. But a lot of people were saying that Josh had no time and the offensive line's horrible. Um, but I do want to mention to you. So if they run a zero blitz and you got 5 offensive linemen and 6, 7 people going after the quarterback, are they bad for letting somebody through? No, they're not. It's just not practical to block 7 people or even 6 people when you have 5 people. Hat on a hat, 5 on 5. Yeah, we could do it. They were bringing pressure from every angle. DB blitz, safety blitz. That's not the offensive line's fault. Like there was one play in particular, I forgot which one it was. Um, a linebacker came into blitz. Offensive line had everybody protected. Then James Cook freaking whiffed, and then Josh had pressure. Then Josh had to run around the pocket, and then people got through their offensive line because he's moving around. So like people got to understand, it's not the O line's fault for everything. Sometimes Josh creates his own pressure. Sometimes the running back can't pick up the blitz. Sometimes it is the offensive line's fault. They cannot win, just like corner. They cannot win every single damn rep. If out of 30 dropbacks, they win 20 of them, 22, 24, 18. That's enough. They've been outstanding. Like in the run game, they were bullying too. So like, man, can't keep blaming the offensive line for everything. It's frustrating. Again, we'll watch the film, but a lot of it, I'll have to look at the other defenses. But I did notice zero blitz quite often. People are ragging me on Instagram because I commented on a buddy's post. I was talking about Josh, and I said he's been a big waste of money. And I say stuff like that when I'm angry, and obviously I don't want anyone else's quarterback besides Josh. But sometimes you do wonder why we pay him this much damn money. And everyone's telling me I'm a fake fan, shut the hell up, stuff like that. But I don't care because, I mean, if you don't at times see these blunders and wonder like, man, you're getting this money, you got to be making these plays. You want to be talked about as the best quarterback in the NFL. Don't be 0-5 in overtime. Don't lose the big games. Don't lose games like this. Don't almost lose games like this. So, but yeah, where's the leadership? We'll talk about it. I'm gonna doubt he had no time. It was so weird. They had everyone online at times. Yeah. So Allen, you substituting time for opportunity. They're on cover, drop back, and make the play. It's not wrong. He is paid for Super Bowl, not great games every 3 weeks. But like you said, like you would not trade it. Yeah, exactly. Of course not. But so also as far as protection goes, Josh Allen is the quarterback, and he has every opportunity to change protections at the line of scrimmage. So if he sees something, he could say, blah, 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 da, 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 and then fix the protection. Because when you pick a play, zebra, yellow, orange, pink, Oklahoma, and then that means Oklahoma's for the offensive line. Okay, we're going to block this way. And then Josh sees the defense and it says, oh, shit, this is going to destroy this offensive blocking scheme. I got to change protection. That's on Josh at that point. So Dorsey calls a play, and then Josh sees, wow, I don't like this defense with this look. I got to fix my protection. That's on Josh Allen. So if he sees a zero blitz coming, he knows what a zero blitz is because we play Miami for every 2 times a year. So you see the zero blitz coming, maybe fix your protection. And yeah, and then if they show it bait coverage, they did a lot of bait coverage. It's a risk you got to take. They were blitzing everyone. What should I do? Yep, there's somebody open at that point. Quick reads on a zero blitz. Somebody's open. They always teach you throw where the blitz is coming from, as I mentioned before, but because Collinsworth mentioned it yesterday, always throw where the blitz is, because that's where the open guy's going to be. So, but a zero blitz is different. So I will obviously we'll watch the tape. I'm as fair can be. I love everybody on this team. I treat everybody the same. Nobody's more special than the other, even though they should be playing like it because they get paid the money to. Man, it's rough. But yeah, people tuning in, if you're tuning in, throw your topics that you want to discuss into the chat, and I will write them down. And we will cover them. I want to talk about leadership, but I would like to wait. Hopefully, a couple more people come in before I talk about leadership. That's a big thing. When he is on, he's on. When he is not terrible. Yeah, he got his games, and he's still, in my opinion, he's still the second best quarterback in the NFL. That's why I expect so much from him, because he is the second best quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion. I mean, I think he's still number one in touchdowns. He's number one in completion percentage. It might dip a little bit, the completion percentage, but number one in total touchdowns. Like, he's not doing that because he's bad. But imagine if he could just be consistently who he is. Oh man, who's my best? Burrow to Are we talking about just this year? Or are we talking about like career? One sec. Yeah, let me know, Match. Are you talking about just this season? If it's just this season, um, Josh Allen, overall going forward now to next year. Okay, so if it's just this season to the end of the season, right now it's Josh Allen, uh, Mahomes, Purdy, Tua, not in any order, and then who's the fifth? It's tough. So Allen, Mahomes, Tua, Purdy, not in any order. Um, Man, there's one more. Who am I? Stroud. I'm gonna say CJ Stroud right now. Burrow hasn't played good. But yeah, those are my five as of right now. Yeah, no, that's I mean, he's struggling a little bit too. I mean, they dominated the Bears. So like, they didn't play well against the Broncos. They didn't play well against the Jets. They didn't play well against, who else did they beat? They they're struggling too. I mean, let's be real. Stroud could be real good, yeah. They're 3-3 too. So we gotta be careful, man. I mean, it's something that we gotta be mindful to. Absolutely. I do want to mention one thing. This isn't necessarily a topic. I guess we could turn it into one. But when we punted in field goal range, granted, Bass did miss two 53 and 54-yard field goals. But the fact that before he even missed, we punted against a crappy team in field goal range. Because that was about the same, 50 something yards. I don't know if it was windy there, but he missed two field goals, which sucks because he's usually money, even at the long distance like that. But that really pissed me off when we punted in field goal range. Couldn't believe it. It was early too, so it wouldn't have, if you trust your defense that much, man, crazy. Mahomes only QB I might because he got at least another ring in him. Yeah, freaking Bass. I mean, I love Bass, but I couldn't believe that. It's funny you're commenting that, Chatter, but it's saying that nobody's in here. But I see you in here still. Yeah, special Bass, man. I mean, jeez. Because if you made that field goal at the end, they would have to get a touchdown and 2-point conversion. And the chances of that were low, but they had to make it hard, of course. They had to make it hard. But yeah, I'm going to save leadership a little bit. So let me know any other things you want to talk about. I like to get a bunch of topics, but it's hard when can't just throw it all on Match Chatter to pick all the topics. You're being DDoS attacked. Or Bills fantasy thing. I don't know what you're trying to say there. I'm not acronyms. I'm kind of bad at acronyms, so I don't know what that stands for. That's all my fault though. So, but yeah, I mean, I was saying stuff on Instagram on a buddy's page, and you know, if you talk bad about Josh or anything, people don't like it. So, whatever. I gotta call it like I see it because I'm honest. I'm as honest can be, and I love my Bills, but hey, yeah, but like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, share this with your friends. I'm gonna go like it. Like it myself, but I just looked it up myself. I give a 24-hour ceasefire. Yeah. We fans are gonna want to fire everyone. Yeah, I mean, people fan the way they fan, man. I mean, that's how people feel. I'm not gonna tell them no, but there's times where you're like, man, this is a fireable offense. Obviously, no matter what, if you fired someone now, who are you gonna bring in? There's nobody bring in, and there's no plan. Um, the people, I was in the army, obviously, and people that didn't have a plan, you always were like, hey, maybe you should think of something before you get out because it's tough. Some people didn't want to have plans, and they ended up coming back in or you know going down a difficult path. Always good to have a plan. So don't get rid of anybody unless you got a plan. Don't quit your job unless you got a plan. Don't do anything unless you have plans. Your point on Allen are not irrational. He needs to spread around. Yeah, and like we just in that small sample size of the Jags game that I showed, he has it in his mind sometimes before the play even starts who he wants to go to, and that's gonna hurt us in the long run. It does. It will. It will. It will. Because I'm sure there was a lot of plays where everybody was open. So, but anything else, Matt Chatter? Because I'll get into leadership. I was just wanting to save it to see more people. But unless you got something else, I'll get into leadership. What I think. Like this morning when I was waking up. Yeah, I mean, the nonstop Dorsey stuff must be annoying. Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you this: between Dorsey and Dayball, what was the one common denominator that they both had as offensive coordinator? If anyone else is in here too, you're more than welcome to answer. But what was the common denominator for Brian Daboll and Ken Dorsey when they were offensive coordinators? Josh Allen, exactly. Perfectly correct. So I remember me being one of them, wanted Daboll gone. A lot of people wanted Daboll gone, and he had his blunders too. So if we felt the same way about Dorsey and Daboll, and the common denominator is Josh Allen, what are we blaming them for? Like he's the common denominator. He's the difference. He's the one constant is Josh Allen at quarterback. So can we maybe stop and think maybe it's not their fault all the time? Can we stop and think maybe we can't be as creative as people want because we can't do it? Because we're not able to fix these things or to produce these plays? You want to be like Kansas City and run a fake field goal or ring around the rosy and all that bullshit that they do that doesn't work 99% of the time? You want to be like that? Because I don't. And sometimes being simple is what you need. Which, if anyone has, he will be pretty good. Yep. I was much harder on Daboll. Maybe I was ignorant. I mean, it's fair too. I mean, it's hard to blame the person you care about most in the team. It's hard to blame the guy that is supposed to lead your franchise, but you can blame them a little bit. But then you got to look at yesterday. There was a good amount of creative plays. They worked out. Um, people wanted them to run more. And then we ran the ball every time in a row, and then it gets obvious. So like, you want him to run, and then you complain about him running too much. Like, execution is part of it. So Davis fumble, we were driving. That's not Dorsey's fault. Josh throwing that pick with a great defensive play, that's not Dorsey's fault. Knox dropping that catch, not Dorsey's fault. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't all Dorsey's fault. Because at the end of the day, you're a grown ass man, and you're all grown ass men. You got to execute. And I'll bring back a high school experience. I blame Dorsey to the extent he can control Allen's street ball. Maybe he can't. Yeah, I mean that's the thing too. Oh, my jaw had a crack. Coaching is part of it because you got to say, hey, look over here. Hey, you missed this. Hey, blah 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 blah. So let me just put it this way: how execution is important and things like that. When I was in high school, I was a sophomore. We played a team who ran the ball every single play, no matter what. They never passed, not once, ever. So what we did was we had an 8-man front, and I can't remember how we did it, but it was legal. We had the linemen on the line, then you had the linebackers of step off of them, corners were playing up, and they never passed once. They ran every single time, and we won the football game. Our coaches did the work, and we had to execute. If we couldn't stop the run, that's not our fault. I mean, that's not the coach's fault. It's our fault because they had a great game plan, and they knew they were never going to stop running the ball. So they did an 8-man front with the one middle linebacker stayed back, and the 2 safeties, and everyone else is on the line of scrimmage, and we stopped them every single play. I mean, yeah, they got to move the ball a little bit, but we won the football game. Now, if we're getting gashed and we freaking miss tackles and we can't do shit, is it their fault for us doing that? I mean, for kids, yeah, because you got to teach tackling and stuff. But what I'm trying to say is the game plan was perfectly sound. If you can't do it, it's not their fault. Oh, we got to play to the strengths of our players. Do you think maybe we are and it's just not working out? Do you think Dorsey is sitting there in the box like, man, I want to purposely not use my players to the best of their abilities. I want to lose this game. Hell no. And people say, and I don't remember which guy said it, which reporter, but people always complain about in-game adjustments. Every team adjusts. Every offense, every defense adjusts. People watching don't realize it. Giants got cheated. Can't believe y'all won. Well, thanks for tuning in, Miss Fins. We won. And, sometimes you get the call, sometimes you don't, but it shouldn't have came down to that regardless. And it just worked out. Not much you can do about it. I'm sure that, it'll happen again against us. We've lost games from calls and we've won games from calls. Everybody has, so shit happens. But, I mean, they played a hard-fought game. And they had every opportunity to win the game. If they didn't get stuffed at the line of scrimmage before half, they would have won the game. If, that first play they scored, they would have won the game. They had plenty of chances. And no, a win is not a win. They stunk. They didn't deserve to win. I will say that. Happy we won. We did not deserve it, Miss Finn. So whether they got cheated or not, we did not deserve to win. We got luck. We got gifted one of these times, and it's fine. I felt kind of weird about it. They got cheated and call and pass with 1-yard touchdown. Yeah, but at the same time, that, as I mentioned earlier, the play before that where they called pass interference, I didn't think that was. The one that they didn't call was the pass interference. That was absolutely a pass interference on Teron Johnson. But they evened it out because they called it the first time. And hey, if Waller catches the ball, it don't matter because it's a touchdown. So, you know what I mean? So it is what it is, I guess. That was ultimately on the Giants coaching. Yeah, both the calls, man. No, not the first one. They're there's obvious, and then there's that could go either way. They got the extra play, and they didn't do nothing with it. So I mean, that's on them. Yeah, it was a high throw. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, like I said, that roughing the passer on Josh was BS. But there was also a lot of calls that were BS on both sides. It was just, you know, came down to that last play. They had every opportunity, and they didn't get it. So whether we won or not, we didn't deserve to win, and I would be the first one to tell you. So didn't deserve it, but it's how the football gods are. We got shafted last week, having to play a home game in London when their other team was already there, and Roger Goodell's science experiment, as he admitted, and then the football gods made up for it by giving us a call in the end zone. So, but it's okay. I mean, y'all still 5-1 Miss Fins. You don't got nothing to worry about. As long as you guys beat us week 18, you can't knock your top NFL QB that ratings. Yeah, definitely one of your worst games this year. Hopefully, you don't turn it around. Oh, you don't have to worry about that, girl. We're not gonna we ain't gonna turn shit around. When have we ever? Um, you weren't here earlier, but I mentioned like last year we were doing awesome. Then we beat the Chiefs. Then that was week 5, and then after that we sucked the whole entire year. And then this year, we beat a really good team in the Dolphins by 28 points. And you're thinking, okay, we're playing great football. Not saying Super Bowl or nothing, but we look like a better team than we did last year. It's all coming together finally. Then you play like shit 2 weeks in a row. So what's in store for us? Is it going to be the same as last year where we can't get our crap together? And we won basically every game after that bad stretch last year, but we didn't win good. It was ugly wins. We didn't play good football, and a few of those games we didn't deserve to win too. Yeah, good teams win those games. I get it. But even Diggs agreed with me. He didn't say, Sean, I agree with you, but he said it was weird last year. Like we were winning games, but it didn't feel right. That's what I was trying to say. And that's when it came to the playoff game. We almost lost to the Dolphins, and then we played like shit against the Bengals. And that was because of what happened all year. Yeah, you can use whatever excuses people want to bring out, but we were winning football games ugly, and at the end of the day, it's not good. Like, look at the Dolphins. They were down 14 points to one of the worst teams in the NFL. And instead of playing like we did, they put up 42 points, and then they win the game. You know what I mean? It's simple as that. But, thanks for tuning in, Miss Fins. Hopefully, we can get on a show again before week 18. But, I love you. Always appreciate you being in. Yep, Fins. Man, rough. And then what's all that, man? That fighting BS, that was crazy. Eagles are no joke. I don't know. They look bad all season too, in my opinion. Of course, oh yeah, I know. I love you. I'm not mad at you at all. I'm just disappointed as hell in this team. Like waste all my time and effort and think about it all the time. And you know, they're still a great football team. I mean, they're great, but man, that's what makes it worse. Being great and then playing like crap like this. Sure, that touchdown throw to Morris, unbelievable, unbelievable throw and catch. Hardy catch, great play design. It's just like, man, like we got shut out for 3 quarters, and then we got shut out for two quarters against Jacksonville. So 5 out of the last 8 quarters, the second best offense in the NFL up until this point, we're shut out 5 out of 8 quarters. Man, picking up poor Bryce Young. Yeah, I mean, yep. And then you got the Jets beating the Eagles. Insane. Adam Thielen still got it. Yeah, man. He's a reliable guy. He's like a not as good Larry Fitzgerald. You get older and you're a route technician and you're able to do well. Help Bryce out. But they're in a bad position too. All right, guys, throw me some more ideas. Throw me some topics. I like it like that. Because I could talk all day, but I want you guys to decide stuff. I want you guys to talk about what you want to talk about. He's number one slot. Yeah. No Beasley. Would have been nice to see Beasley. I thought someone said he was activated, but I don't think I saw him on the field. Saquon looked pretty good for his first game back. Like I said, we stopped him for the most part, except for those 2 carries out of 24. He had a 20 and 30-yard run. So, uh, other than that, let me check. Miss Fans, if you're still in, I don't think she's in here anymore. Talk about the fights. Yeah, man, that was insane. So, it looked like Thibodeau, was angry that he got blocked down by Dawkins into the pile, and they were getting at it. And then Thibodeau was on his back trying to kick at Dawkins, which is soft. I hate Thibodeau anyway. Oh, Miss Fins, I don't know. I was working this morning. I didn't get to check your show. Uh, if PFF grades are out yet for every team? I'll check over there. And then, yeah, I thought, see, that's also crap. I feel like if it's 3 penalties to, I don't care. Like they said, oh, if it's 10 penalties to one, they offset. I don't believe in that. I think if there's 3 freaking penalties and then one, we only got a penalty because we were retaliating after what they did to us. Something should have happened there. But especially for Brown, they were like literally attacking him and trying to hurt him. So all Brown was doing was trying to get this dude off him. And then, Lawrence tackles him to the ground and then tries to get up, and then someone comes out of nowhere and blindsides him and knocks him to the ground. That's not okay. It's football, but come on. Damn. But yeah, it was weird. It was a weird who started, who was aggressing. It's tough because Dawkins and Thibodeau were one on one. You know what I mean? So they were blocked. They were at each other. So like, I think Thibodeau was the aggressor, and Dawkins isn't gonna. He's a dog, so he's not gonna let you push him around. And he pushed you back, and then you got mad. So that's what I think. That's what I think happened. And I guess it gave us a little bit of juice. I don't know. Let me just check and see if PFF grades came out yet. Talk about that for a little bit. I don't think so, because it says we're 3-2. Yep. Not updated yet. For us, anyway. The shoving Spencer collateral damage that hurt. Yeah, I think he hurt his ankle or something, so that's kind of shitty. But he was having a decent year. I mean, from what he was last year. Man, it's so frustrating. Yeah, people can get hurt, man. And then freaking Josh comes in and lays the wood on Okereke. Okereke was a good sport though, and didn't try to attack Josh afterward. I mean, he probably understood like, oh, you were just trying to protect your dog. So Josh shouldn't be doing that. It should have been someone else, but man. You're an Army guy. How many carries do we have? Do you know? I think we ran the ball 29 times. Should I worry about Army family? I don't know. Probably not. I think we always do a good job of taking people out of situations and helping and not losing many people. I think we do. We're the best for a reason. So my bad. Aircraft carriers. Oh, I don't know much about aircrafts because I was an infantry. I wasn't involved in any. I was a foot guy. I was on the ground, so I don't know much about any of that. But yeah, I mean, we'll intervene when we intervene in things that we should, and sometimes we intervene in things that we shouldn't. But that's why we're the best, and hopefully all these situations can be handled and all that bad stuff stops. That's okay. Yeah, I was like carries. I was like, oh, we were in the ball a little bit. Just wondering if you think we're getting involved. Maybe Want to say no, but probably. Probably. My buddies that are still in, when the last stuff was happening, all of my friends in Italy and Alaska, they were all on red alert, ready to go whenever. So, guess we'll never know. But we'll see. Well, yeah, let's go. What's next? What's next? So I got leadership on the board, but any other topics, situations, questions, concerns, comments? That's what I'm here for. Anything you want to talk about? Be a Bills fan, Jets fan, Giants fan, Finns fan, Raiders fan, whatever you want to talk about. Oh, you're heading out? Oh, I appreciate you, Mad Chatter. Thanks for tuning in, man. I don't know how much longer I'll be on, but we'll see. And then the film will probably be out tonight. And then PFF scores will probably. I think I spelled Squeak wrong too. The last few weeks of conference, you guys are turning around. You know me. I have no reason to be confident. So until they show me, I'm not confident in them at all. Could they? Absolutely. I mean, we got a great team. You know that we got a fantastic offense, a great defense. But will they do it? I mean, we're playing the Patriots. It's gonna be a tough game just because it's a division game. I know they're not good, but division games are usually tough to a point. So I mean, we've dominated the Patriots before, and we've had close games with them. And we lost to them, so we'll see. But I don't know how long it's going to take them to turn it around, but they need to turn it around fast because I mentioned it earlier, Miss Fins. I don't think you were here yet. 13 teams in the AFC are 500 or better. So every loss could be detrimental to your season. Who do the Fins play next? They play the Eagles Sunday Night Football, which would be a good game. It's another one of those games where I don't have a rooting interest because I hate the Philadelphia Eagles and I don't want my division to win. So it's tough. You never want your division to win, of course. But yeah, it should be a good game. Tua, Jalen Hurts. Yeah. I think it's in Philly too, from what I remember. But yeah, I mean, Miss Benz, people always say you want to play your best football later on, and you know we're definitely not playing our best football. So hopefully we can keep with that and end up playing our best football when it matters. But we got our hard stretch coming up later on in the year, so better fix it now. Patriots game is an opportunity, and then when you play the Bucks, they do have Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, and we have a banged up secondary, so that worries me a little bit. But I'm not worried. Just like I wasn't worried about the Giants offense, I'm not worried about the Patriots offense. I'm worried about us coming to play. I got the hiccups, but yeah, it's definitely concerning, man. I mean, I know I'm a little bit harsh after losses, but you got to talk about the bad stuff. That's not all pretty all the time, and you know things can drastically change. Look at the Giants. Coach of the year, won a playoff game, 1-5, your season's over. Injuries, regardless, like season's over now. Unless they go undefeated, which they won't, season's over for them. Maybe they can squeak by with 6 losses. So they have to lose maximum one more time this year and have a chance at making the playoffs. That's tough. Gotta win 10 games, 10 more games. So things happen. It's good. That's good. You have perspective. And I like that. I appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, I can't just lie and say like, well, yeah, we're gonna turn it around. Like we have we have a top 3 quarterback, we have a great offensive line, we have a great defense, we have great weapons. It's up to them. It's all up to them. If they want to turn it around, they need to. It's all on them. A show on Wednesday, 8 a.m. Let me know if you want to join one soon. Yeah, absolutely. How like I said, how long do they usually go for? Some days I have jobs early in the morning at like 7 and I won't be able to join. Um, but some days I will be able to. I just gotta bring my son to work at 8:40 to school at like 8:40. So we'll work it out one of these days. Just let me know and we'll plan something for sure. But I always love that. But yeah, it's all about this team's got to rally together and understand that we're not playing good football, and if we want to be who we think we are, we got to start turning it around because this is poor excuse for football. But so I guess we'll talk about leadership, and I guess I'll wrap it up. I thought a little bit more people would join and throw out ideas, but um, leadership. So I was a team captain in all the sports I played. I was a NCO and a team leader in the military, and leadership is a very important part of life in anything that you do. And I'm a business owner. I don't have employees yet, but I like to think I'm a. Oh, thanks, Miss Fins. You have a great day too. Oh, okay. Sorry. My clients was messaging me. But leadership is a very important aspect in life in general. Um, and one thing that I noticed from this Bills team is Diggs is like the only guy in game. I don't know or care what they do before or after the game. Diggs is the only person you see vocal and trying to pump up people on the sideline and trying to get people motivated and all that stuff. I get it. Josh might not be that type of guy that wants to get in people's faces and pump them up and say, you know what, I promise you I'm gonna lead us to a touchdown. But let's go. I need you. I need you. I need like whatever he has to do. And he just sits on the bench and pouts or looks at the tablet. Which I know you got to look at the tablet because you got to see what you did wrong or right or what you missed. I get it. But after that, get the hell up, start rallying your guys. Because if they see you, the $300 million quarterback, sitting there, like they're not going to want to fight for you. They're not going to want to be motivated to, you know what I mean? So I do want to mention that I want to see better leadership qualities from these captains because if not, why the hell are you a captain? I wasn't made a team leader because I was in long enough for that rank for position. Because you could be a team leader at any rank. I was a team leader because I was good at leading soldiers and making them better people. So yeah, Josh is funny. He's nice. Everybody loves him. He's a great guy. But what are you doing as a leader when they need you the most or in games? Man, it's a really important quality. Look at Mahomes. Mahomes gets people on the sideline. He doesn't yell. He doesn't. I'm not saying Josh has to call people out and say, "Man, Davis, you suck. You dropped that wide open pass." If you want to call people out, the best way to if you want to talk about something that needs to be fixed and you don't want to single people out, get everybody in a group, get the offense, get the huddle going, and say, "Listen, we all got to play better. It starts with me. I trust you guys. I need you to trust me. We got this. Let's get this shit going. Whatever you got to say." But these leaders need to step up. These captains need to step up on the sideline when things aren't looking great. Let's go. Let's talk real quick. It's really important. It's really, really, really important, and you just don't see it from these guys. You don't see it from these guys besides Diggs, and then Allen will go on the podium and say, "I stink." It starts with me. We gotta play better football. Like, cool. You're doing all that right. And you might be nice. You might be good in the locker room. You might be good in film study. But man, it's a lot more to being a leader than just having a C on your chest. Um, there was a situation, I'll use this as an example. Um, there was a situation I had in the military. I'm not going to just, disclose it fully, where I purposely stepped down from a leadership role because I knew I was getting out of the military. And I had young guys underneath me that I knew wanted to stay in. I was getting a foot surgery. I wasn't going to be, doing PT or doing the missions or anything like that. So I said, you know, I could be a leader. I looked at the guy above me. I said, look, I love being a team leader. I love being help teaching guys and leading them to be a better person. Uh, but let these guys go above me, and I could teach them what I know and how to be a team leader. And then they can, they want to stay in. I'm ready to get out. I have like a year left, and I'm going back to the real world. And they said, okay, are you sure? I said, yeah. So I had a guy lower ranked above me, and I asked for that because I wanted to help them because I knew that they wanted to stay in. I knew they were interested in it, and I said, if I'm me being a team leader, I'm about to get out. I've been a team leader for 3 years. Like, as I could be a leader without being in that position. So that's what I did, and now all those guys on my team, they're all high ranked and they're all their own squad leaders, and I see them every day. And I'm not saying it's because of me, but I'm proud of knowing them. So it's like step up as a leader, whether it's vocal or just you don't have to scream and say, "Oh, you suck!" Like, what the hell are you doing? You don't have to be like Peyton Manning or Tom Brady. There's a way you could go about things. One thing I learned as a leader, I mentioned this before multiple times. You have an idea. We'll say, I use the same example again. You got your team, and then you're supposed to meet at 6 o'clock in the off post room. That's where we met. And there's common areas there, hallways, bathrooms, the room you're in. And I had the idea of, hey, you know what? Let's be the better squad. Let's be the better team. Let's get here at 5:30 and clean it before everyone else gets there. And then they look bad and we look great. And then we do that, right? My platoon sergeant calls me down in the office and says, "Cool, why the fuck did you have your guys here at 5:30?" And I could be like, well, and he says, well, that was so two ways. So he's happy about it. He says, wow, cool. I'm really proud of you for getting your squad here at 5:30 to clean the common areas before anyone else got down here. I say, no, platoon sergeant, wasn't me. One of my young guys thought, he reached out to me and said, hey, I think it'd be a good idea if we got there sooner. Give them the credit, even though it was my idea. Or the other way around, if you know they think of something and you go for it. So if they say, hey Sergeant Kula, hey whatever, let's do this for PT, or let's do this, let's try this out. I say, yeah, it's a good idea, let's do it. I would say, he's like, cool, what the fuck was that? Why'd you guys do that? Well, I thought it'd be a good idea to do this and it didn't work out, so I take full responsibility. That's leadership quality. And I'd like to see more from these captains. You're a captain for a reason. It's not just for fun. Do something about it. Alan Davis, captain, and older guys should be rallying, especially Alan. Get them to boot camp. Tyrod looks so down and out and just disinterested. It was an audit at their end. Yeah. Poyer, let's go, veteran. Yeah. Poyer's another guy who is vocal. And you've seen him, that Patriots playoff game. They're all hyped up, and then Poyer's like going crazy. He's like, I'm tired of you. You know what I mean? Like, let's go. Hit him in the mouth, set the tone. Like, what does that look like? What kind of things would you like to see from Al and others? Because I'm on the same page. Like, it's just like little things, man. It's just like the offense is slow, right? Whether it's Josh's fault or anyone else's fault, he goes right to the bench. Get up, talk to your guys, and say, hey, this is my fault. I should have hit you on this part of the route. Let's try this next time, or blah 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 blah. Then stand up, cheer on your defense, get hyped up for your defense, stuff like that. Just little things. That's all. Because I take full responsibility. Every game is getting disingenuous and repetitive. Exactly. Just saying it doesn't do shit. You get to be there for your guy. And maybe there's stuff we don't see because it's a TV. But from what they show, it doesn't seem like we do a lot of rallying besides digs. But leadership is very important. And I'm not saying like call people out. And if you did need to call someone out, call everybody out as a group. I didn't like getting, I don't like when people call out single people in front of everybody else either. But if there's one person, say you're mad about Spencer Brown sucking at blocking one game, right? Instead of saying, Brown, you freaking suck, man. Get your shit together. Say, O-line, you guys have been working your ass off, and I can't be good without you. I need you to step up this drive. That's not discouraging to them. It's more uplifting because they're like, yeah, that's right. And it is true. You can't win without O line. And they say, "Oh man, the O line's like, that's right. I mean, we gotta we're the person who drives the car in here. Like, we got to be good, or this offense isn't going nowhere." But then they get a little bit motivated because Josh is saying, "I can't be me. I can't be the best quarterback in the NFL without you five." Stuff like that, man. I mean, it's easy ways to go about stuff. You don't have to necessarily say, like, you can't. You don't have to be like Justin Fields and say, "Yeah, my coaches suck. My offense sucks. It's not me at all." Like, just how it is. Yeah, it's a frustrating one. I mean, like Miss Vince said, how confident are we that we're going to turn it around? Not very. I have a little bit. I'm not 50-50 yet. I'm like 30% confident right now. But you go out against the Patriots and you destroy them, and you beat a good Bucks team, decent Bucks team. I'll say they're decent because they still have a good defense. So got a good defense, and then they got playmakers on offense. So they're a decent team. That'd be a quality win. The Bucks is a quality win right now. When I picked this game to go to, I thought it was our only guaranteed win. It turns out it's not guaranteed. So yeah. And then you got the Bengals. Is it by then Bengals? I don't know. But still, got a long road ahead. There was a lot of football left, and there was a lot of time to come around. I mean, like I said, Josh is, I think, leading the NFL in touchdowns. So I mean, we're able to score. We got to get stuff going. We're too good of a team to be like this. Yep. So Josh has 1,576 yards, 13 passing touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 71%, 72% completion, 263 yards per game with 102.8 rating. He also has 131 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. Diggs 49 catches for 620 yards, 5 touchdowns. Davis 21 for 341, 4 touchdowns and a fumble. Hardy 12 for 103 and a touchdown. Morris one, it was his first catch. Wow. Yeah. Mahomes and Hurts would be walking around and talking. Yep. Exactly. And yeah, I'm not gonna say like Josh has to do that. Like, I get, oh, maybe he's not that type of guy, but you gotta at least try, man. I mean, you can't just walk around, sit there and do nothing. You got to try to get these guys motivated. But frustrating, man. You guys got anything else you want to talk about? I guess I'll let you go. Something about Josh's injury. Josh will have more scans and tests on his right shoulder, but the indication is that he does not have a major injury. Ian Rappaport reported. Mm, that stinks. Oh well. Hopefully, he doesn't ruin a season again like last year. 300 mil, figure something out. Yep, exactly. You got to figure your shit out. But, well, all right, guys. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Uh, Maybe I should go live at the night after the game instead. But I appreciate the ones that showed up and all your topics. And I'll keep doing stuff like that if I can, where you guys get to pick the topics and talk. So I think that's fun. But got to bounce back after, even though it felt like a loss, even though we won. Definitely got to figure our crap out. It's a collective effort. Don't just blame the offensive coordinator for mishaps. Don't just blame the offensive line for mishaps. Everybody's got a little piece in it. But remember, Josh, as great as he is, as elite as he is, much of our franchise quarterback as he is not allergic to criticism. So awesome show, wrong day. Yeah, I appreciate it. But yeah, shit. Fans seething till Wednesday. True. But yeah, share it out, your family, your friends. Let's keep growing the channel. I think we're at 332. Let's try to get to 350 at the by at least by a month or so. And I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Go Bills, and they got to turn it around. But they're absolutely capable of doing so. See you guys later.